Exactly what's supposed to go, it's just the American flag.
It's falling.
It's falling down. I'm looking at the Indiana one, ours
Needs
is
to
small.
look taller.
There's a hook in it that's came out over the years.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Maybe it's after meeting
Look
minutes.
at that. Just fix it. Okay. Minutes.
Move to approve May 8th minutes.
Second.
Any discussion on minutes? All in favor? Aye. Claims.
Hold on, Dave.
You got it.
It's executive session minutes as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept those.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Claims.
Got your pay. Move to approve.
Second.
Second for Kristi. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Whole business.
We need to, a second reading on that.
You know, we need to make some changes on the,
Bring some attention to some changes that we
Yeah.
looked at.
on the UDO, so let's wait on that.
And there was a recommendation that came from the planning committee. We can
Yeah,
discuss
we
that.
had, I believe inadvertently took somebody's zonings and changed them without their permission. So we made
not
the,
good.
huh?
That's not good.
No, so we made the recommendation from planning commission to change that zoning back, by Freudenberg out. Was zoned general business. So what the recommendation was to make it back what it was.
Well, they made it agriculture and it needs to be general business. But we need to make a note in
That's
our,
west of
Yeah.
Friedenberg.
yeah, the corner
Okay.
up there at 9 and River Road, or 52 and River Road.
I mean, you don't just change somebody's zoning without. So I need a motion to change it back.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any other
You
discussion
guys
on
aware of
that?
what we're talking about? Dana's property there on the corner.
That little
Comes back to Freudenberg.
Oh, just kind of helps to knock it down, that area.
We need to make a big note that whoever's putting that HWC, make sure we change that. And then probably need to look through,
All in favor?
we probably need to look through the rest of the, have a look through, did we change zoning on other, did we change something differently than what it is in the map, on the map? That needs to be looked at again.
Yeah, the whole map.
Yeah, just to make sure that we haven't, let's not create any more problems for ourselves than we need to. We get it taken care of now versus have to do it.
We just caught that tonight, if, you know, you don't change somebody's zoning without. And we need, there's some other things like it's got the wrong river on the map and so.
Yeah, it's a wrong river.
Uh,
I don't know what else you found.
There, I found some stuff in the planning that has been moved over to the zoning, which has nothing to do with zoning, it should have been with the planning. And I verified that today.
Make sure we get that written down for.
So that's gotta be corrected. So there's some things he's looked over. So, we'll get there. Start on tomorrow.
So here's the question. Brian made a mention that we could pass the second reading, but I don't think we're ready for that.
No, it's, wait,
I don't think we're ready for that. I think we need to have the changes before we do the second reading.
yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay, old business.
You want me to bring up the road, Kevin Hay, of the
Yep,
old,
that's
or?
fine. That's.
I sent you guys all that, today from HWC, Kevin Hay, on the quote for the title, the transition plan, the PAMP update, so the quote came in as, just up to $19,000. It would be the 75-25 matches. They just go, send you an itemized bill as they work along, to go ahead and start with that project. It's a 3-year, good for 3 years. If you guys have any questions or anything?
It's called the Crossings Grant.
Yeah, that's where they pay the roads and we pay so much and.
75,
25.
75-25. Goes along with everything HWC's been doing with our book and everything, and same for grant processing, so I don't know if you guys want to go ahead and start that, or,
I would move forward with it, because it's,
I gotta get started somewhere.
okay?
is that motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And that is just for the roads.
Well, this would still be old business then. That Klein Peter,
Yes.
he emailed me, I haven't seen you. I need to steal a couple more signatures. It's one of the letters that will go out to the town people. It's on letterhead. And then one goes to the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, and one is what goes to the residents. So I'll just get with you to get your signatures. And then that should be, I think, the last of what he needs for his.
Awesome.
Once we get this done, this is gonna come in here a little later, we need to work on the comprehensive plan for the community. So I know it's gonna take some hearings and meetings and special committees and but once we get that done, then we're eligible for all these grants we've been missing.
Right.
So, okay, any other old business, new business? Got Rob Hart here.
No, but I know what he asked me. They want to have a cornhole benefit for the little boy in Greenfield that just passed away. And his question was, for that day, I forget how many hours he wanted, could they block off, if everybody in the neighborhood didn't mind, and you guys agreed, Poplar, so that they could use Nick Caton's yard, and they were gonna use that to throw, what he calls it, throw bags. But they were gonna send that money back to Sammy's family, and he was looking at the day before Father's Day, I believe. So, I don't know what Father's Day fell on. I think it was a Saturday.
Yeah, Father's Day is
It's the
So they got the
15th,
15th.
yeah, June 15th.
That's tragic,
Awful. I have a 9-year-old.
makes me sick.
Is that the one with kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he thought he could get 60+ people out there to play some games, and he wondered if you guys would allow that.
Is there any neighbors that oppose?
I'm his neighbor. He asked all of us, and I said, no, I don't care. It was up to you guys,
So it's from 52 back
just to Poplar.
to North Street.
Yeah, North Street, yeah.
Right. Is that, what day of the week is that?
Saturday.
Shouldn't have any issues with delivery trucks up and down the aisle or the alley.
And if it's in the morning, we can set it, they're gonna do it like, I think, in the afternoon. So if delivery trucks come in the morning,
Probably won't have any, unless it be a beer truck.
Right, it will be.
The work's not open on Saturday.
There's none on Saturdays, but usually first of the week. I'm okay with it.
Second.
All in favor?
Tell him he needs to talk to, would it be the town boys? Get the
And get some
blockades,
okay,
barricades
I'll
up.
let them know.
Okay, now we're gonna move into town representation.
I just put that on there along with the, buffer zone.
So that's both the same.
Yeah, to help, well, I thought Brian would be here to discuss, like, looking out for the best interest of the town, or helping things come in that may not, be the best for people or the town. So I talked to HWC, Brian and Rachel, being that we are doing our books, it's called an extraterritorial jurisdiction zones. I thought it was called buffer zone, but it is to buffer some of those things out of in a 2-mile radius of the town to help, apparently we've tried this before and it didn't go over very big, but I thought maybe due to, situations that have happened in the past, that could be something that could be brought up I just wanted the board to bring it to the board, and then you guys,
We used to call it the 2 mile fringe. My understanding is you don't have to go 2 mile, but if you go 2 mile, it's from point, wherever your existing is, 2 mile. Like if we're out to 600, that would take us to 800. If we're over, I can't think of the road over there in Ralph, what's the name of that road, 150?
200.
How do you get jurisdiction on that, since it's not part of your town limits?
We went to the county last time we did it.
I can tell you a little bit, because I did a lot of research, and I talked to Shelbyville planning, somebody on their planning commission, because they do this in Shelbyville. It's called the 2 mile fringe, and the way that, as long as your comprehensive plan includes that area as proposed development later down the road, then, and the county commissioners agree to it, then all that zoning and planning would go to the town instead of to the county for that area. The tax dollars still go to the county,
We have to supply the inspector.
but the town would then be in charge of the permitting, the zoning, variances, inspections, enforcement of that area as well. So it would fall under the town's planning and zoning UDO instead of the county's, once that gets established.
But it's not part of the town.
Nope. It just allows the town to have control over the development that's gonna come in and affect the town, basically.
And we would, another thing is we'd have to pick two representatives
Two
from
people
that area to
yeah.
put on the planning commission.
Yep.
So we go to a 9-member board instead of 7. By and large, that's about it.
Yeah, there's, I mean, I
There's
look,
only
there's
2
towns-
and 4 points on the map.
What's that?
So you have 4 sides of your town.
Yeah, but you have 2 from that area, from the fringe. The fringe is considered one area.
Yeah, so anybody that lives outside the town limits, but within that 2 mile
Buffer.
fringe,
Yeah.
you need 2 people that live in that area on your board.
They're on the council, they'll just be on planning.
And there's, I mean, I looked and there's most cities in Indiana have this. already.
Shelbyville has it.
Shelbyville has it.
Like Portville has it now, Greenfield.
Every town and city in Wayne County has it, Hagerstown, I mean, every single one of them, they all have it. So it's pretty common, it's a pretty common.
Well, he brought up something too. I think, Tom, you went to the, I don't know what the name of it is,
Yeah.
the Shelby County, where the county got together and,
The comprehensive plan, their planning meetings.
yeah, and, they built this map.
Yeah.
It's nothing what we would want the town to look like.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically doing their comprehensive plan right now to what they think this should look like around Morristown without the input of Morristown. So they put together a map that, they've laid out different proposed zoning areas. Some places they designated as proposed for industrial that you're gonna look at it and go, there's no freaking way that we want.
Those
that
2 houses sitting there and there's,
I mean, my house is, in their proposed, is considered industrial in their proposed zoning. And every one of my neighbors, we're considered proposed for industrial as, the way their comprehensive plan is gonna look. So, basically, this is giving us the opportunity to have the actual input on what is gonna come, because the reality is, if something comes in over here and is built, and we're gonna provide utilities to it, and we're gonna provide public safety to it, we're gonna annex it, I would imagine, so that we get the tax dollars to go with it. So we should probably get the input ahead of time of what's going in there before we just let the county say, hey, yeah, stick whatever you want in there, and then Morristown will deal with it when you're done and you've got it built. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys have paid much attention here lately to the solar farm. I'm sure you have, Brad, but every day, the sheriff's getting called out to the solar farm project right now because trucks are getting stuck on 500 and 750. They can't make the turn to the intersection. And they've had 3 in the past week where they've had to have Davis come and tow them out of there. So 500 East is closed down for 2 hours at a time, you know, they had 20
700
trucks.
too.
Yeah, 750 had 20 semis lined up parked on it across 750 the other day. You know, and there's probably been 4 reports of people saying that semis are driving through their yard, taking out their mailbox, damaging their property. So, you know, again, this is stuff that the county stuck us with without the input of us, but here we are, we got semis coming through here every day going to that project, and, you know, we don't really have any input or any control over any of that stuff. So, and the county is doing a good job of responding to it, the commissioner's on top of it, he's been out there talking to the solar people and working out plans, but, you know, at some point, that's gonna affect us when those semis are gonna come and sit over here all night long, because they're told they can't sit on 750 East or 750 North all night long, so where are they gonna come? They're gonna come here and find a spot to sit all night long until they can get in over there in the morning, so.
Well, and the big thing too, Tom, is you go, press tracks here, you're in the county.
Mm-hmm.
You go out that field here in Washington Street, you're in the
Yeah.
county.
Yeah, we just
It
need
just
an
gives us,
opportunity to control what's gonna happen over here instead of.
just
letting
gives the
somebody
control
else.
back.
I think this is something I'd like to see move forward, since we're working on the book and we have got some changes and such.
HWC can provide us with the information on this, and
Yes.
that's gotta be part of your.
Yeah, that comprehensive
Comprehensive
plan,
plan.
I mean,
Yeah,
Good time to do it. We'll do it.
I'd like a motion to move forward with that.
Motion.
Oh, second motion, vote, third, whatever.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So that's called the extra.
That's what I was, I'm writing
Yeah, what is it?
extra territorial.
Territorial jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction.
That's the last word.
and if you look in the Indiana code, they actually reference it as a 2-mile fringe. If you
Okay.
Google 2-mile fringe Indiana,
Well,
the code will pop up.
HWC refers it to
Yeah.
the.
They got an official name,
Because
but.
I kept asking about it, they corrected me firmly. This is what it is, this is what it is,
Yeah.
what it is, so.
Okay, next new business?
You want me to bring up?
Yeah.
Dave and I met with
Titus?
Tony Titus and Lee Langkabel in regards to fire chief. In regards to the county and the money and such. Apparently Dean Tyner was going to the county, which they thought to ask for money, but he was doing it for the volunteer fire department. In short thing, we're not gonna, receive any money from the county because that's how they do it. They take their money, they give the 1.2 million to Shelbyville. But talking to them, one thing they recommended, because we were like, we don't really know how much to ask for to the TIF, and we've had Jeff come out, he's looked at our finance and stuff, but Tony had mentioned that Greg Garitas they use Greg Garitas as a financial planner, and he does more than the county, he does many people, and they said it'd be great to come out, look at our books, I have some information, and they would be able to help categorize everything, how much money we have for our fire chief, how much, do we have enough for 1, 2, 3, how much do we have on the roads, really break it down and help us, especially you, Morgan, I know you're new, you're doing a phenomenal job, but I understand.
Oh, I take all the help.
If I was in your position, I would
Yes.
know,
And starting next week,
comfortable with
I'll be
things
in
like
there
that.
all day, so
Right.
We have to have,
I'll
Well,
take help.
we have the money to hire a fire chief. Well, it does not work to the TIF board for me to say, well, I need 50 guys. Well, maybe I needed 40, maybe I needed 55. I actually have to have numbers.
Right.
And he'd be able to, pull out like, this is how much you have for roads, this is how much you have, he just said, he's really good, he saved money with the, he was saying how they saved lots of money with, the insurance. And we might even be on there's a better insurance plan for us, so, I just wanted to, Dave and I thought it was a great idea.
What was
How
his
you guys
last
feel?
name?
Greg Garitas.
How do you spell
I have
Okay,
all this
send-
information,
send
but
it
I
to me.
will send it to you, so. I am going.
And have
to-
him, and he's more than welcome to come and,
Right, he would go, yes, and he would work with Jeff's numbers also.
Yes.
And he would, and because he may be, like Tony says, he's a little firm, you know, at the end of the day, it's our decision, but we might not like what he says, but, he says that he's gonna be straightforward and, you know,
Great
very,
Garrett.
very good to us.
And Jeff has done a good job with the TIF.
because he was gonna come in, but instead of
He's got
him
some issues
reviewing.
going on
Okay.
too. I think just some issues going on. And, but we just have to have real numbers. That's, because we need to get this done.
Yeah, because we have a committee, I don't know if you know, Larry, but we have a committee, started to help, you know, look into hiring a fire chief, but just a search committee. So he would be more, you know, part of like helping us confirm what exactly we
The
have
benefit
available. So
Oh, yeah.
you guys are aboard, I'd like to,
Since I'm on that, since you're on that, and you guys want to move forward with Kristi taking care of whoever needs to talk to. Is that all right? David Benefiel called me again yesterday. He plans on being here next Friday to start on this. And he said he'll go over the whole building, so he's here. I brought up that corner. And, he said he'll make a list and he hopes to get started on Friday, so he knows. Following Friday after this, so. I don't know what all he said's wrong up there, if something's wrong, it's their fault. So,
It's not Candy said.
Okay.
and he did say, look at the sides that you
Right.
said of the, also, so.
The steel goes.
Yep, still crossing out with a cutout around it and it doesn't,
They did pin it down in the block.
he said it'll be free,
Okay,
so
good deal.
that's good as we can do.
I doubt the repair was free.
Yeah,
I
oh, yeah,
doubt the repair
that's
was
what he said.
free. Oh,
That's what he said. Because they didn't, he said they didn't do it right to start with.
Yeah, that's what he said, he said everything's free. So that's good. Any other new business? Lauren,
There's a conference in State Board of Accounts School, June 23rd to the 27th up in South Bend that I'm gonna look into going to. That's okay with you guys? Okay.
else?
That's it.
No legal? Police? Oh, Brad, before you come up.
Yeah.
Probably this would fall under new business, wouldn't it? Officer,
Yeah.
we interviewed an officer. And, I think he wants the job. And, so should we move forward with?
Yep, I'll make a motion to hire Tom Wright as deputy marshal.
I'll second that.
Start, would you say, you could start the 5th,
Yeah, whatever if that's a Thursday or
Fifth of June.
payday, that would do.
6th?
Okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And are we continuing with Brad as the marshal?
Yes.
So I
So moved.
Motion, I'll make that motion.
second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So is that still in term until July, or is that?
Just marshal.
Right.
Oh, great. All right, well, thank
You're
you,
the man.
thank you.
What's your quarter?
Okay,
Right.
deputy.
Yeah, yeah.
Welcome aboard, Brad.
Yeah, appreciate it. I get to go down my list, we'll see how.
Go easy on us now.
Yeah, let me tell you. So, I've already started the process for the permit for closing US 52. I'm 3/4 of the way through it. All I need is for 2 town board members to sign. We now have to sign a hold harmless agreement for the state of Indiana. After that, I have to submit a Google map of the new detour and the closure, and then it'll be submitted. They said we should have the permit back in plenty of time if I get all that done. My plan is that everything works out, I'll have submitted Monday or Tuesday. for them to work on that, so. I'd like to attend training at the FOP on June 3rd. It's for lateral vascular neck restraint, which is a form that's used that it's a legal restraint that we can use in the state of Indiana, but you have to be certified and you have to receive the training to use it. It's not currently in our policy, but to even add it to our policy, we would need someone who's been through the school, so we would attend that school just to see what they have to say and then the information they give. It's $180 for that. It's just one day at Shelbyville FOP.
Motion to go ahead and approve that.
Okay. Second.
What
All
was it
fair?
called, Brad?
LVNR training. Yep. We currently have military surplus night vision that we use for general patrol, and if we have to use the device we have to find missing children, so each officer has a night vision device right now. However, those are part of the military surplus program. I would like to start moving away from that program because there's more and more rules that are coming out with that where they actually tell us, even though we already have it, they can tell us when and how we can use it. So they can very easily tell us tomorrow that we can no longer use night vision because of whatever rule that they've come up with at the federal level. Crane currently has a lease program. It's $300 a unit, so currently we would need 2 if we had another officer, 3. It's $300 a year, but they cover 100% of repair and any issues that come up with it. Just for instance, the pair that we would get for $300 would actually cost us out of pocket about $3,500 if we were to buy it brand new. So it would be totally covered and leased through Crane if we went forward with this.
Motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We had some discussion on an executive session, and I've been looking into it, upgrading our handguns. Our current handguns range anywhere from before Terry Drake to the last time we purchased handguns with me, which was at least not long after I started full-time, and I believe it'd been somewhere around 2006, 2007. So they've got some time
He's
on it.
retired from Morristown County, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I normally typically shoot around 1,000 rounds to 1,500 rounds a year out of a pistol, so my pistol probably has somewhere between 8,000 to 9,000 rounds on it. So just as a general progression, we replace those every now and then. There is a move currently to go to red dot sights on the pistols. It helps with accuracy, it helps with aging eyes, it helps with the ability to focus on the target, and instead of on the actual front sight, so you have better identification. It just is an all-around better platform. For us to switch to that, currently our pistols are around $490, give or take, before we buy any extra magazines or holsters. To move into an optic ability with a handgun, we would be looking at $920 each. That would include the optic, the handgun, the sights, and 3 magazines. So we're looking at an additional $400 or so of what we already pay on a handgun. If I was to price the parts out individually, we're saving $420 a firearm by doing the package directly from Glock. There is 3 different locations that I can order it from, and they would be shipped directly to us. We wouldn't have to go pick those up. We no longer have a Glock dealer in Indianapolis, so we have to go to Terre Haute or down by Louisville or Ohio. So that would allow us to not have to drive to pick those up. They would mail them to us directly
How many
if
are
we
you
did
wanting?
that. We would go with, I wanted at least, my original thought was 4 because we talked about still having 3 officers on. And what that would do is that would give us 1 for each officer and then a backup pistol if something was to happen with that pistol. We're involved in a shooting, it's seized as evidence. If we have some type of catastrophic failure, because our current plan is we have no backup.
Somebody breaks into your house or your car and steals your gun out of it, that happens a lot in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so
And you're switching to 9 mils instead of 40.
yeah, we would switch from 40 to 9 mil. Currently, that's the other thing I'm going to bring up tonight also, is that if we were to start this process, we could go ahead and order the 9mm ammo. Apparently, the importation and the development of one of the main components of gunpowder has been stopped currently, and so they're stopping production at 3 of the major ammunition manufacturers right now. They have actually canceled the powder orders for anybody who is on the books and even had already paid their bill. They have canceled the powder orders on them. Wow. So the only people that can get those right now are those with government contracts, and it has to go to government contracts. You can't, and they don't consider us government. We're just considered individual or police departments. All that's going to the federal government for that ammunition currently. Currently, right now, the difference between 9 and 40 is about $15 to $25 a case difference. So we would save a little bit of money.
How much 40 do we have on hand?
We're getting pretty low. We haven't bought in a while. We have quite a bit of 223. 40, I'm down to about 2.5 cases. I did talk to them. I could possibly trade it
I was
in.
gonna say, can we get anything in trade?
But we've got it's about 120 to 160 days to get the new guns if we order them. So we're looking at a whole rest of the year qualification to get into that ammo before we,
Get into that old stuff and crawl.
yeah, before we would, buy new.
How many of the old guns have we got?
Well, if we are going to release one for whatever happens towards the middle of the year, we currently only have 3 actual guns that are owned by the department.
Can we get anything to trade on those, or probably not?
It's usually in the low to mid $200 range on those. Typically, your agencies give your officer the ability to pay it, to buy them back if they do, and we can put that back in towards it, or we can, release them for bid for surplus, or sell them and get what we get out of them. But that market's pretty,
Saturated.
yeah, right now there's a big
lot of
saturation, a lot, because the entire federal government switched from 40, so. And we're also, while we're at it, I'd like to change our duty ammunition for our rifles. The current ammunition that we're carrying in our rifles, Decatur County was involved in a police action shooting about a month ago, and the exact same rounds we carried failed in that police action shooting. They actually didn't even penetrate the suspect. So that's something that I definitely want to switch out and get something a little bit more appropriate. Federal actually doesn't even recommend the ammunition that we carry currently in our rifles. They do not recommend it be carried for defense or duty purposes. So,
We'll qualify for that stuff.
yeah, so I'd like to switch that out also while we're at it. Probably around 500 to 1,000 rounds of that.
May it happen.
Second.
All in favor?
Four.
4 guns.
Okay. And ammunition.
And ammo.
And then I'll look and see what I can get as far as trading on the ammunition. The 223 we're okay with, because the practice ammo we have will transfer over to that. That's not an issue. It's just the duty ammo. We only have about a couple hundred rounds of the duty ammo left. So. Let's see here. We've talked about changing our hours up, possibly to try and overlap different than what we've done in the past. So I wanted to get permission to be able to start overlapping our hours by 30 minutes to an hour, and change our nighttime hours based on when we're actually busy versus perceived. And we also talked about holidays, giving the police department the ability to work on holidays if they come up as an option. It wouldn't be a requirement, but we would be able to work that holiday and then float that holiday within either a week or 2 weeks pay period, however that worked out. But most of the holidays land on Monday, so that would only give us 2 days to float that holiday.
If you're doing that, you have to get with Morgan and Elaine.
We gotta make sure, because it has to be across the board, right?
And timesheets have to be, because that's all.
Our guys will already have the holiday off.
They're probably not gonna.
Yeah, they're not gonna worry.
They'll be,
There's what?
like,
You guys work
Don't
5th
they
of
work-
July.
like if they work 4th of July, our guys have 4th of July off, so we would give
So
them an
there's just
additional
2
floating
holidays.
holiday.
And you're eventually gonna have to deal with that too with the fire department if we
I just
hire
wanna
them.
make sure if they're doing
Yeah,
like
all of
water
them also.
run or
Right.
something like that, they,
They get holiday in there.
okay.
Around.
And around that.
The only thing with it is, and you guys can handle this, it has to be the paperwork,
Yeah,
so.
we would notify either at the beginning of the month, we would say that we're gonna work that holiday, or we would no more than probably 2 weeks out, say we're gonna work that holiday and then move that to a day off later on in the week.
As long as you let the girls know.
I just wrote it on, I'm sorry, this is the day on YouTube.
That's fine.
I looked into, we spoke at the executive session about changing our SOPs to mirror Shelby County's. I spoke with Lexipol, which is a company that Shelby County uses. As I thought, it is not cheap. It's $3,500, and that's based on a per officer charge, but it's for our current, since we're currently at 2 officers.
So we need to get rid of Tom for a few minutes.
Well, just say it again, yeah. Maybe only when we pay the bill, I'm not sure how that works. But I did ask about part-time officers and reserves, and they said that they do not count those as full officers, so they do not charge you for those. But it would be $3,500, and what that does is they actually come in and they take our SOPs. If we don't want to keep anything, we start from scratch. They can build a personnel policy and a department policy on top of that. And they would actually give us what they call a sample manual to look through, and then once we make a decision, that's what we want to go with, and we start it, then we get a page-by-page review of the SOPs to go through and strike what we want or to add what we want. Each officer then receives an email that says that they have to read that policy, and they have to click a box saying that they acknowledge that they've read that policy and they're aware of it. And then they even have training scenarios that pops up and says, this is the event, what SOP do they need to follow, did they follow the SOP? So it seems like a pretty straightforward program. They're a very large company, they're used all over the U.S. And the information he was showing me, it's very user-friendly. They have what's called best practices, federal law and state law. So if we have an SOP that falls under best practices, it actually says that, and he says that's a pretty wide availability to edit it. If it's federal law or state law, he says normally you do not touch that unless there's something very specific in it. But their lawyers write those policies that you're now in the same umbrella as everybody.
This 3,500 is just the initial,
No, that is to get the policy and
do they keep, then how is it updated?
at any time that there's a law that comes out, then we get notification that law, and we make the decision if we're going to accept that law or not. So if there's some new federal SOP that comes out, we can make the decision if we want to follow that or not. Or if there's a local one or best practice, we can actually.
But it's a one-time pay. Oh, that sounds bad.
You guys, we need this, we have.
When you said it's
2006 is our
You're gonna
last
spend that
one.
much on an attorney, paying the attorney to do it all, pay the town's attorney to do
And then
it.
you're gonna pay to update it every time.
You can mirror Shelby County.
Yes, we have to get approval from Shelby County to use their SOPs, but they said they don't know why that would be an issue. It's not like we're trying to use them without paying for them. We're just trying to mirror them, so we're all doing the same thing.
You guys are wrong.
I say go for it.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we move forward on this.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I've went over a year and a half, almost 2 years on phones. I kept holding off for the free phones to match what we currently have, but it's not happening. Verizon right now, it'd be $30 or $50 a phone to upgrade our phones that we have. We have damaged phones. We have phones that just have wear and tear on them from being used. We need 6 to 7 phones right now, and cases would be $30 to $50. So we're looking $180 to $350 and $180 to $350 for phones and cases.
This for all the guys?
For Old Town, yeah, this is
Oh,
all
Old Town.
for everybody who's issued a phone. And then I have to replace our MiFis, which is the wireless devices we have for our laptops and our police cars and the ambulance, because the batteries keep expanding on them and they actually get to the point where they almost catch on fire.
Oh,
So,
You show them how to use them,
yeah.
new ones.
Supposedly the new ones do not expand with the battery, but we will see. But those are free, we don't pay for those. We pay for the service, but not the device.
That's it.
And that would be wastewater and water.
All in favor?
Aye.
I received a request from Shelby County. They would like to come up and do canine training on Wednesday, May 29th of this year. They'd like to have the ability to, if the weather's bad, they were wanting to know if they could use the former auction house or upstairs at Dodds Hall for doing like article searches or drug searches. And then they'd also like the ability to access behind the auction house for tracking and for apprehension along the old traction line all the way to Asbury.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will notify them. I've looked into new vehicles after the fire board meeting. I have 4 Tahoes and 5 Silverados. Prices have gone up. They are within $100 of each other, a few $100s of each model. Right now, Silverados are between $48,000 and $47,000. That's for either police package or what they call municipality or a, I guess, government model, 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. And Tahoes right now, pursuit and non-pursuit are the same within $100 of each of them, depending on what options you're getting. They're around $50,795 to $45. The cost that it cost us to transfer the last, when we went from fire to police and police to fire, it cost us around $700. That was in 2022, so I'm sure that price has went up. There is lease options for these. If we are interested in that, they have a 3, 5, and 7-year lease with either set terms or open terms at the end, meaning we either turn it in or keep it, buy it, but that is an option. But they said the public safety leases done through GMC Direct are not a good deal. They have a local guy up by Fort Wayne that does their leasing that gets a better deal. I checked on the police package Silverados. I know New Palestine has them. They really like them. I checked with him on those. He said that if you get a police package Silverado, it actually costs you an additional $5,500 over the base. You can get the exact same components in a non-pursuit rated Silverado, and you save that $5,500. So he says, depending on what, if we're either going police or fire, if your firemen aren't planning on running at pursuit speeds, it's probably something that you wouldn't need. If it was going to go to the police department, then you would probably want the pursuit rated model. So,
When you say police package, what's that include?
larger brakes, different high heat resistant brake pads, different suspension. And then typically they'll have some type of upgrade to the computer system for shifting speeds. And usually they'll throw the pursuit rated tires on them. So you're looking at probably a 4-wheel drive tire versus or a street tire versus a pursuit rated tire.
How many times would a fire chief be running with all that?
He told me that if they are going to be running in the area of under 100 miles an hour, then he would recommend just going with a standard, not a pursuit rated.
We hope he don't do that.
So the police,
And I think-
right now,
I think the trucks would be happy.
What are we buying? The chief? I thought he was getting the old police one. Is that not what they
that's what
talked
I
about?
thought we were gonna get a new police one, hand down the oldest.
It's kind of like what we discussed, that we also brought up the idea of leasing. Leasing is,
I did ask about
there is one guy that was okay with leasing, the other guy was not.
They said GMC Direct is not good. I checked about Dodge. He said they cannot get Dodge Durangos right now or Dodge Rams. The state of Indiana canceled or changed their bid. So he had a bunch coming in and now he doesn't. I checked on Ford, and Ford, I've been waiting 3 days for Ford to call me back, and they haven't called me back. So.
Tell me if this is right or wrong. I'm just thinking, if we bring on a third policeman through a grant program or something, he's going to be using that car every day. Fire chief is going to be coming to and from here, maybe out to somewhere. I don't know if they need a new vehicle, because that's a big benefit just to have a vehicle. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I mean,
For the fire chief.
for the fire chief. So I would have a new one for the police,
Right.
and then we'll take to the other one and do something with it for the, is that right, or what do you guys think?
And I mean, we're literally $2,000 difference between getting a Silverado or a Tahoe. When New Pal originally ordered theirs, they actually got the Silverados for cheaper than the Tahoes. They actually bought the Silverado and outfitted it for the same cost as a Tahoe, but that's not happening anymore.
So this,
Well, right now, as it is, we have a third one, because we don't have a third officer at the moment.
we don't have a fire chief yet, well, we do.
Right. So we would just go and get a new police vehicle and just.
Yeah, we want a new police vehicle.
With the
Is that right?
pursuit.
I think-
I think we need a new police
Because
vehicle.
you told us the
Yeah, I think it
miles.
should be a Silverado.
Those new looking ones?
Just my opinion.
And these are quad cab, 4-wheel drive, these are, now a couple of them are 2-wheel drive, but, I mean,
That
believe it or not,
one-
it's like,
The third vehicle over here, what'd you say, only had 70,000 miles on it?
It's right around 80.
80, yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
It still runs great, I mean,
Do we know how many hours?
nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the third vehicle. I don't want to take that to the fire chief.
You guys all right with that?
Take the third vehicle to the chief.
Get
Get online.
Brad?
That is the 2015.
Okay.
The, Colorado sounds fine to me.
But that's still a big benefit to a fire chief to have the vehicle.
And really, it's a misnomer between the Tahoes because his is a 2020 and mine's a 2021, but mine took a year to get here. So we didn't get ours, the new one until, yeah, it's just 2 years old now.
And if we do the grant program for a third officer, how long does that take to do usually?
The grant's due June the 15th. We'll know probably by early fall. End of summer, early fall.
And these are just what he has on the lot right now. He said that it's kind of hit and miss. He said they're either, everybody's after them or not. And it's either red, black, or white. It's the only 3 colors that they can get right now.
Well, if we still had the vehicle for the third officer with the intent, if we didn't get a grant, we could still hire a part-time.
Yeah.
We still got a vehicle. Or if one of your vehicles breaks down, we have another vehicle sitting there. Does that make sense?
And we can also always do an order too. We can order what we want instead of going with what's sitting on the lot. If we're looking to not have to need it, right now, we can get something on order and it may show up late year or next year even, depending on, right now it's June and July when the ordered ones are coming in.
Time's kind of on our side. Unless they really make us a good deal with on the lot versus buying.
Well, that's what happened last time. We called him and he's like, this is the last one I got on the lot. It was a demo and that's why we got the 2016 one because it was sitting there and nobody would buy it. He says now it's literally that if you do, it's who answers the phone first right now to get them.
And then how
That's
long
what
it
happened
waits
with that
to be
one.
ordered, how long does it take?
He says just depends on the packages and what's available. Because the 2021 is what happened with it. I called and I beat out a larger agency because he answered my phone call first. So,
And you could lease those on the lot.
yeah, we can do a 3-year lease. Yep. Which I think would probably be a pretty good idea for the town in the future with our public
Yeah, I
safety.
mean, we're a low
vehicles.
mileage police car, so it's not like at the end of 3 years, the car's still only got 40,000 miles on it. That's pretty good.
You can opt out to buy it too if you want.
You're right.
Spend more.
Or if we're gonna trade them back and forth, we know that at the end of 3 years, we know about how many miles we're at.
So do you guys want to pursue the lease or the?
I mean, I would think the lease would do better. Right now, anyway, you wouldn't.
Yeah, with,
Be better money wise.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to put out that. money.
yeah, that money going out.
I did check on the pre-wired leases where they show up ready to go, and he said you pay double what it costs to have everything installed.
Really? Do a lease with up prep.
Do we want to go with a car or a truck? I can see advantage in both ways.
Yeah, to me, it makes sense for the truck since we got a Tahoe or 2 Tahoes. the truck at least gives us a truck bed space if we need to actually haul somebody's bicycle that we've found, or, you know, those sorts of things, or tow trailer or whatever around. Just makes a little bit more sense to me to have a truck than
Are those boxes you guys carry around, are they waterproof?
well, they make them specifically for the back of those as well.
You can get the slide out beds.
Yeah.
Now, and you can even get them factory with the rhino lining too. So it's
Well,
not
is
from
it gonna be
factory.
your car?
I don't know.
Well, whose car is it gonna be? Marshall's? The new one?
If they want it, I mean.
I was gonna say, who's it gonna be? Because what do you guys, if you're driving it, what do you want?
I'm good either way.
Easy.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's your driving it, what do you prefer?
That's for $2,000? Is that the difference between the two?
Yeah, 48,375 for a Silverado four-wheel drive, and a four-wheel drive Pursuit Tahoe is 57.95.
See this Silverado? $2,000.
Any faster, or, I mean, is it?
No, actually, they're very close. They're,
I get some change, you'll start flipping.
Get the Silverado, you spend $2,000 on your wiring.
we could do that.
I said go for Silverado and find out what the lease is.
That's a motion,
That's the motion.
That's the motion.
second.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, I will notify them and see what our options are to either buy now or build one and have it ordered, to see which one's gonna work out better for us, if there's gonna be a major price increase with the new
Cut
model.
off.
Yeah.
I was like,
No more spending, no.
Tell me about it. I told you I was gonna come up.
you're like 3 pages.
Yeah.
That's it, right? He's in the honeymoon phase right now,
Yeah.
guys.
Fire chief now.
He just got.
Okay, you got a motion to give fire chief the Tahoe.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Do you want me to go ahead and call Waymire and get that set up, or are we gonna wait till we see what we're gonna receive and when?
Let it play, let me see what we get. Again, this is not a time-sensitive motion.
Yeah, we got some time.
Take your time and do it right. Don't get hurt.
And then staff so far this month, 31 calls, I took 25 of those, 15 citations and warnings, 770 miles, 595 that's patrol, and 175 of that's personal training. That's where we're at right now, and I'll pull the stats off the speed signs. We got the new speed signs showed up this week, the 12-inch, which are going on North Street, and we're still waiting on the 15-inch to show up. And we did look at a demo today with the street department of a combination radar sign and also a message board, like they use for the highways. We looked at one of those today. That's something we'd probably like to look at for a grant, $22,000 for one of those. A new radar trailer is $10,000 right now, so.
Got a motion on it?
Yeah, so, once the grant guys start looking at it, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's out there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Dave,
Yeah.
thanks to, we hired Tom and everybody else that we've hired that's been part-time. We've given their start date is when they hire on is,
Right.
you know,
For longevity?
yeah, for the longevity.
Longevity.
Well,
I'll make that
did you get
motion.
straightened up?
I'll second that.
No, we still don't.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
I just didn't want to forget.
Appreciate that.
Okay, what else we got here?
Wastewater?
Wastewater.
Anytime.
Anything
They
wastewater?
got that motor ordered
Everything good, isn't it?
so far.
Park, I did have a couple of people tell me the park looks really nice.
Awesome.
Looking good.
I was out there for a birthday party this weekend and I got, people that weren't around here, I got all kinds of compliments on it. So nice.
Okay, revitalization is still going.
We had much talk to, I think we're waiting to see how things level out with what we're working on with our grant. I haven't heard anything from the gals.
Really, everything just, I guess,
I think Tammy said they were gonna start on the windows first of next week.
yeah.
Big windows over the Crane building. Haven't got the big windows in yet.
Well, they just waiting on them, or?
Yeah. She said next week.
Well, the front doors replaced yet?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They're gonna paint that one in St. Color, aren't they? The white one,
The white one.
the white one that match the windows, or the white door that's stuck in.
Oh, yeah.
I would think.
They still gotta finish the trim around that one. And they don't have the single door downstairs yet.
Okay. Miscellaneous.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right, happy vacay.
Thank you, I'm ready.
You made it, girlie.
I said 8 o'clock.
I know the whole, not where to go.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Been a long day.
So you're not gone.
All right.
Dave, do you have your glasses?
Yeah.
Bring your glasses.
Go ahead and sign
Any
it.
this morning? No?
No, I have the side ones.
Okay.
Okay, this is what's going